What's going on, MBL fans, friends, family, and all those who accidentally clicked on the video? This is Witz and Tailwind. We're here for the MBL Season 2 Power Rankings and Draft Rankings video. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Tailwind.
I'm Tailwind Eagle. Let's get right into this, I think.
All right. So first up, we have Team Flawless. But before we go into all the teams, we do want to preface both of us have been incredibly busy, especially with university and me. Actually, I just graduated from college and I'm in process of moving out. So things might be a little bit haphazard for this first week when it comes to rankings and notes. Things will definitely be more clear, more concise in the future, and we'll be more organized then as well. So don't bash us too hard. We do know our stuff, so.
Yeah. I also don't have any notes, so to avoid this, because I didn't really have notes to back it up, I decided that I was going to limit it to B and A for these rankings, just so I didn't, end up putting someone at C without the notes to really back it up.
And that's fair. I mean, that's kind of, I did almost the same thing.
Yeah.
So why don't we start off with Team Flawless here.
Yeah.
So I have them at a B.
I have an A- for them.
Yeah. So as I went through, I looked over their team. I thought everybody was the big elephant in the room. That big Magirna there.
Yeah.
That thing is absolutely busted in double-0U and multi-battle, and just being able to get a special attack boost whenever something dies, even your own side of the field, that's a little busted, to say the least.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That coupled with sticky web support, some tailwind support, and
even Hooper and Bound.
Toga Kiss or Salamence, and Hooper and Bound.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that as well. Whereas you rated them as an A-, I couldn't give them higher than a B just because of their big, glaring defensive weaknesses.
Yep,
huge weaknesses to fire, rock, and ground, and like it was hard really to get over those humps when I was doing my grading.
Yeah, I gave them the A- because with the Magirna and the Hooper, they've got extremely powerful threats. They have Intimidate support with Salamence, and they can stop priority with Sarina on their side. They also have two
It only stops it with the Serena slot, though. It's just the Serena slot.
Well, they also have two redirection in Togekiss and Parasect with a way to remove the weakness of water from Mamoswine and Infinite, with the Parasect having Dry Skin. Coupled with spins if someone decide to set up on them, and then their own sticky webs with Infinite with rocks or Mamoswine. I just think they've got a lot of options for Z moves and even just straight power that they'd be able to get over their defensive weaknesses. But that's why I couldn't give them an A or an A+, just because of those defensive problems. But their offensive presence really could win them a lot of games, which is why I gave them the A-.
If there's one mod on that team that you think will stand out the most, or that you think, well, not just stand out the most, but the most underrated mod on their team that you feel like could put in the most work, what do you think that'll be?
I'm going to have to say Parasect, solely because the Rage Powder, the Dry Skin, and the Wide Guard, and I think it also gets Quick Guard. I know it gets Wide Guard. But I think that if they can utilize it well, I feel like it'll catch people off guard and it'll be their MVP. Well, not Killer's MVP, but a good mon that they really utilize well.
I can see that. I'm kind of interested in how they're going to use the Sarina.
Yeah.
Especially with the move called Acupressure. So Acupressure is a thing.
Tentacle.
Well, not just that. When Tentacruel also gets Acupressure, but still.
Wait, Sarina gets
it? You can use it on your partner. So you can use Acupressure on your own mon, give that a +2 stat boost in a random stat, and then I can just imagine this Magirna getting a +2 evasion,
or +2
and all
speed.
Of a sudden, or +2 speed. Well, I figured the +2 speed would just come from shift gear, but
they may not run it 1 week.
All right, so I guess with my B explained, with Talon's A- explained, let's move on to Team Wii Disney.
Yep. We are doing this quite quickly because obviously the lack of notes, and we don't want to. And we also went over it in the draft analysis video, so a lot of the information's over there. We just want to get our rankings out there.
Yeah, we felt like there was no real need to go into a big in-depth analysis on all of these teams when there's a big hour-and-a-half video over there with timestamps where you can just click the button and go right to the teams. Yeah, Team Wee Disney. I'm really interested in the Tapus, the dual Tapu combo. And with all the different things that are going on with their team, with Still Valley, with using every single kind of memory, if they have to. Their team is just incredibly hard to predict for and build for. But I couldn't give them higher than a B rating as well.
Same. I've got B as well. We've both got B here. We're in agreement.
Yeah, they're very fast but they're very frail, and they can be manipulated a little bit with their crew. So
yeah, they're quite. Also, like when it comes to ground moves from the Lantern, the Magmortar, and the Tapu Koko, yes, they have a Tornadus, a Landorus, and a Gyarados, and a Hawlucha.
And the Hawlucha, yeah.
But then they've also got a glaring ice weakness as well. So the two weaknesses aren't really covered well, because a lot of mons are going to be running like ground moves, like the Mamoswine also have ice or hidden power ice and stuff like that. So I mean
that's why they also have Bulu. Bulu can neutralize the physical ground moves a little bit with its grassy with the grassy terrain that it gets set up. It neutralizes by 50%. But
only Earthquake though. So if they decide to run Bulldoze to get cheeky, or if a Zygar's running that its signature move, then that won't really affect.
It affects Bulldoze. It affects Magnitude. Yeah, it affects Bulldoze, Magnitude, Earthquake, and Dig. Yeah, it did Earthquake. It's pretty much all the physical ones except for 1,000 Arrows.
Right, yeah, okay. That makes sense. So that is quite useful then. Obviously the dual Tapu is nice to terrain control. I just feel if used poorly, just feel like if the dual Tapus are used poorly, they may end up screwing themselves over with, ended up bringing in a electric type and taking an electric type hit with electric terrain up, or weakening their Tapu Koko with Bulu's grassy terrain up or something like that.
Yeah, if they bring the other Tapu in unexpectedly and then
get rolled in.
It's a decent amount of room for error. I mean, I trust both Duncan and Shofu. They're both very good singles players, so I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I don't expect it to be happening a lot. Maybe one time it may mess them up a little bit, just about. But there's also Still Valley with every type, which is going to be a pain to deal with in building for their team, with the dual Tapu and then every type, and obviously Intimidate from Gyarados as well to put into fruition.
Yeah, they have a lot of quad weaknesses on that team as well.
Yeah.
With Ice, Poison, Electric.
And that's it.
Wall's a lot of those, but
yeah. I mean, I guess Lantern is a good check to those weaknesses, except for Poison.
Yeah, but you can't really rely on Lantern every single time. So. And
obviously, Frostlass hasn't been mentioned much. I like Frostlass, but I'm not a huge fan of it in doubles. I prefer it.
I mean, it has the redirection, but it's redirection for one turn. It's because it was Z Destiny Bond. It's only for one turn, so their only redirection is just Magmortar.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's a one-time use for the Frostlass redirection.
Yeah. Well, should we move on, or are you fully covered?
We can move on to Blue Hunnets.
Blue Hunnets. I gave a B, and you've given a B+.
Yeah, I gave them a B+. I almost went A-. I will be honest, I almost went with the A-, but I couldn't get there. Their range of speeds is really conflicting.
Yeah.
Between the really fast mons and Deoxys and getting the speed boosts up with Mega Sharpedo, because all they know, they don't have to Mega Evolve first turn. They get the Protect, they get the speed boost, they Mega Evolve, they kill things. And Deoxys with the base 150, and then they're really slow. And there's stuff in the middle like Lele and Rotom and Kyurem, but then they're really slow.
Yeah. And they really can't utilize Trick Room when Deoxys is on the field, or Lele with a Scarf, or even the speed boost in Sharpedo Mega. So it is a struggle for them in some cases.
Really get their Trick Room Sand Sweeper off in Mega Steelix, They have to have Hippowdon in with Oranguru Trick Rooms as the Hippowdon is in getting the sand up. Then they have to bring in the Steelix safely in order to Mega Evolve, or something has to happen in order for all three things to happen. And I feel like it's just going to hinder them a little bit, take a lot of time to get that big strategy off. They do have the redirection in Togetic. They do have the use of an eject button on Hippowdon. They can easily get that out with that. But like I said, it's gonna be tough to get off that main strategy off, which is one of the cores of their team is getting that sand boosted, instructed Earthquake off with the telepathy Oranguru and Mega Steelix. So they're gonna have a little bit of trouble in that sense, but the rest of their cores, if Deoxys in a Psychic terrain is obliterating everything known to man.
Yeah.
Like, even Dark types don't stand a chance because of Focus Blast or Z Focus Blast for all that matter.
Yeah. Lele also has Moonblast, so with it setting up the Psychic terrain, that can deal with the Dark types that Deoxys doesn't appreciate.
Yeah, exactly. And it also stops the priority from happening, so for the frailty of Deoxys, it's not going to be checked that much when it comes to, oh, that thing has extreme speed, that thing has quick attack to easily knock off the base 50 in defenses. Nah, we're good with the Psychic terrain.
Yeah.
And then Deoxys will just blow things away that aren't sashed or sturdy. So
I was close to giving a B+. I just felt with the other sand team around and only really having Steelix benefiting from the sand and, you know, sashes from Deoxys being broken in the sand, just really didn't fit well with me. And like the EVO, like Togetic taking chip damage, being forced to roost, and stuff like that. It is a solid team. I just think I couldn't give it a B+.
That's fair. All right, I guess with that we can move on to T-Man and Lorcy. We have the Team Drinking Birds. So I gave them a B+. You gave them a B. And I really like this team. Like, I really like this team with the Sun support, with the potential Quiver Dance Dancer combo, with the Follow Me Z Belly Drum Extreme Speed Obliteration Linoon, Lando, as well as just be a really, really good Mon in Metagross and Follow Me support, fake out pressure Blastoise. It's very, very well rounded, and you can't really get a better Fire Water Grass core outside of Mega Venusaur, Blastoise, and either one of those fire types.
Yeah.
Whether it's Manatee or the Sunsetting Ninetales. I mean, that's just clap to you guys for getting that done. I mean, the real only downside I see is some of the frailty in some Mons, but
that's my reason just for falling shy of the B+.
Exactly. Yeah, like I can't knock this team down further. Like I want to give them the A, but some of the frailty in the Mons is a little bit.
Yeah, for me, I'm right on the edge of a B+. I'd be willing, you know, to give them a B+ here, you know, just talk. Because again, I don't have notes, so looking over it again, I would, you know, bump this up to a B+. But on the slides at the moment, it is still a B. You know, my problem was, you know, Pheromosa's frailty, you know, if without the Psychic terrain, if, you know, using Lele's Psychic terrain from Blue Hunnets against them, it's weak to priority. There's also Linoon, even though it's a good belly drum, doesn't have the best coverage to really utilize. So yeah, and especially with Oricorio, I just feel like Oricorio, like a different type, would have fit the team a little bit better. Maybe the electric type or even the fire type to boost with the sun. But that's just me. I would change it to a B+. You know, I've got nothing against changing it to a B+. I do see the huge pros in their team. I think
they do have a decent ground weakness. They do. They have that's there. But they have a couple things to neutralize those with Lando and Oricorio, or something bulky like Blastoise to take the hit. But again, those are really the only bulky options in Lando, Venu, Metagross if built properly, in Blastoise. So nothing else can really be bulky unless they want to bring out a Zen Mode Darm. For all means, if they want to bring that out, then props to them. But
Zen Mode Darm should be used more. If only it was just a different mechanic. They should have changed it in Gen 7. Just Zen Mode Darmanitan is in that form throughout the whole game. But anyway, I think that covers
splitting it up, and then you just find them in the Zen mode as you can have the Zen mode arms just like protecting the temple before going in to see the before they see the Tapus.
Exactly. Anyway, let's move on to Team Mythical.
Mythical.
I gave a B
by the way,
minus.
Yeah, I gave them a B. And before we continue on, all of the teams are on the slides. Every single video we've been saying what every team is. I feel like it's a little repetitive if we just keep repeating back every single time what every team is when the visuals are on the screen, as well as on a lot of the other videos that are already on this channel.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just flying through things a little bit here. Feel free to pause, feel free to slow down, rewind. If we're going a little bit too fast, let us know in the comments and we'll slow it down for the next video. So just feel free to critique us. Constructive criticism is always welcome.
Except for our rankings. They are our personal opinions. Don't hate us.
That's, I mean, yeah.
I don't care.
So why don't you talk about Mythical?
Okay, so I gave them a B minus solely because a lot of their, threats, they're not really, they got good threats, but there's not much speed there with only like Chandelier, Garchomp, and Mega Medicham, and Nidoking. Whereas everything else is at middling speeds, like Glalie, I think it's only at 80 now, or maybe 90.
Well, it's at 80, and then after it Mega Evolves, it gets to base 100. So.
Right, yeah, okay, so that's okay then. Obviously, Rabombi is really fast, which is their fastest team member, but I don't really see it doing much except for Pollen Puff and speed swap. I don't really, other than that, I feel like it's just going to be a bit of dead weight. But I do like Rabombi, so sad.
Swap into a potential Guzzlord sweep.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they've also got Trick Room with Cresselia for that Guzzlord, but I just feel like Guzzlord's attacking stats are pretty low. Not good, so that's why I've given them a B minus. I don't think their team's threatening enough to really put a staple out there.
Synergized.
Yeah.
It's also not really that synergized. I mean, a lot of these things work great by itself or great in doubles format, like the Cresselia. It's one of the best mons in the format, but together, I'm struggling to see how they're going to work, and I want to see how Team Mythical can. What they can do with these mons successfully and consistently, because that's another thing. It's one thing to be successful with them, it's another thing to be consistently successful with them.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see how they'll do with the mons that they're given here. So
yeah, they do get access to all the Gorgites, so I look forward to seeing maybe a small one being able to outspeed a few things, but I feel like the bulkier variant's going to be used.
Yeah, I mean, the small one speed ties to Genesect at base 99, so, yeah. I mean, that thing can get pretty quick if not prepared for it. We have the Juggernauts in Team Dream Ball.
Yeah, Team Dream Ball. I gave a B+.
I gave them an A-. I only gave 2 teams above a B.
I think I gave 2 or 3.
Above a B+. So like a lot of people are B or B- or B+. However, there were a few that I gave A- to, and Dream Ball is one of them.
Yeah, my A is later on. I gave a B+. I felt their team was very solid. It really was a very close A-. I just felt with the 2, like Mega Absol and Drifblim, I know that they're very good. I just didn't feel that they'd really bump the team up to the A-, in my opinion. But
I mean, with the bulk that they have, with the Trick Room potential, with the setup sweeping potential, with the hazard control, with the speed control, with everything that they have, I'm blown away that they got some of the things that they got, and they got what they needed early, and they didn't need to get their S pick until the very last round because they got what they wanted early. I mean, yeah, they got sniped a couple times. They said that, they definitely got sniped. However, when it comes to this, being able to adapt and come back with some great picks like they had, they picked up Scrafty in round 4. They picked up Mega Absol in round 10. Round 10?
I think so. It was one of the last 2 picks because they got greedy with the 2 Megas. They just took the last 2 Megas like these are ours now.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Aldino, that can set up Trick Room as well. And
yep,
Healer
Healer. I just wish Healer procced a little bit more than it actually does.
Well, then it'd be too broken.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it did.
And plus, they don't even have to worry about having Healer as much with Tapu Finn's Misty Terrain on the field. So
once again, poor Aldino's been given a slightly worthless ability with Tapu Fini. Poor Ordino. But yeah, it is a very solid team, especially with Scruffy, Intimidate, and them taking one of the fairy threats. It's, kind of protection.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
obviously,
really excited to see Zygarde.
yeah, I want to see Thousand Waves used from them. Did anyone take Zygarde 10? I don't think they did.
No,
So
but
we've only got one chance at
thousand
that.
waves. Well, not just that, but thousand waves plus Perish Song support
Exactly.
with the Absol. That
Yeah.
thing is like, ugh.
I mean,
Sorry,
everyone.
sorry, we're giving away your stretch, Wolfie.
Yeah, but
Love you, promise.
what about Marcus? He may want to as well. Wolfie may be like, oh, I don't want to.
Wolfie's
I
the
don't.
Perish Song
Yeah,
guy.
but
Let's be honest here.
Wolfie would be like, oh, I don't want to perish trap this time. We'll do another time. And Marcus like, no, we're doing it with this Zygarde. We've got a chance now. We're doing it again. But yeah, this team is really solid. They're season 1 champions. I look forward to seeing if they can make 2 seasons in a row. But I feel like a lot of the teams are going to stop it this time, which is why I gave a B+. Okay, next up we have Cyberbaz. Now I gave them an A.
And I got an A- with them. Why don't you go ahead with your A?
I gave the A solely because it's almost the same as their season 1 team. They use it extremely well. They know how to use it. They've shown that it works extremely well, so I have no reason to really doubt it. They've upgraded their Aerodactyl. Purloin is a bit weird for me, but I know that I think it's Baz who loves the light
Yeah,
part.
Baz with his light part is absolutely insane. I'm really excited to see how he uses the Purloin.
Yeah, and obviously Bruxish can also be offensive or can stop priority. I don't know if Dazzling works different to Queenly Majesty, but if it does, that'd be great.
Yeah, neither do I. I think Dazzling might be with the same as Queen of the Majesty. It could be better for all I know, but
we'll have to
I'm
see
not
if
as
they use in the battle.
experienced in doubles.
Yeah,
I'm not as experienced in doubles as all my other fellow analysts. I'm more of a singles and a draft analysis kind of guy, and like I know what things do individually, working together on a team as well. When it does come to doubles, I know Jirachi is a major threat, especially with the support that it has.
And so is Raichu. Raichu in B was a steal. Gotta say.
Yeah. And there's a reason Jirachi got banned from doubles OU.
Yeah.
And the Jirachi Azumarill is such a common core, and it's such an obliterating core, and the fact that they got both of them. Have fun, other teams. Have fun.
That's why I couldn't bring it down to an A-. I just felt with their experience with the team, with the new Z moves and everything, I just felt that they'd be able to pull it off so much better that they're worthy of the A. And with Regigigas, I want to see how they make it work, but that struggles for me a bit.
Hey, wide guard Regigigas, that's a thing. I don't know, but
that's why I didn't give it an A+. I feel like it could have had a few improvements, like maybe with the Breloom and I know Breloom was great, but I just see a little bit better in singles. But why did you go with minus over A?
I'm mainly because of Regigigas and Purloin. I'm still up in the air with them. I mean, I couldn't really give them above the A- just because I don't know how they're going to work. I know Baz with his Purloin. We talked about it earlier. But I'm still on the fence of how those two are going to be used, because right now it looks like people are just going to be prepping for 9 or 10 mons, or 8 or 9 mons as opposed to all 10.
Well, I feel like the Purloin maybe, because people know Baz with Liepard, kind of the same thing, but I feel like Regigigas may get looked over, because I don't think, apart from Jirachi, I don't think any of their mons get skill swap, so they can't really get rid of that slow start well.
It would just be rage powdering over and over with Volcarona, or follow meing with Jirachi, or even just taking, or taking things up in the air with Mega Aerodactyl Sky Drop, just a waste of turn. But like, we're gonna see. I want them to prove me wrong. I have had them winning, so I want them to prove me wrong with this Regigigas pick. So
okay, so who's next? Should we move on then?
Next we have Team Subs,
Team Subs, right? I gave a B, and you also gave a B, so we've got another agreement.
One of the few times where we actually agreed.
Yeah, we've had one before. I think this is our second. But yeah, why don't you give your thoughts for this one?
They have at the end they picked up with their C tiers. They have great hazard control and Hitmontop and Crobat and Mew and great hazard setters and Dredagon, which hazards are very underrated in multi. So like they have great hazard setters as well, and they have speed control and a lot of things with tailwinds, and Mega Lucario.
Yeah.
Mega Lucario is just Mega Lucario. I mean,
oh yeah, it's just broken. I'm not a huge fan of Seismitoad. Never have been. I feel like it needs better water type moves. Just needs to get that physical like liquidation. I've never really been a fan of it myself anyway.
A special attacker because it doesn't get this physical water moves.
Yeah.
So it would only get special ones. So like not having that kind of hinders it a little bit, but having water absorb is going to help. Swift swim to abuse any kind of rain that might get brought, or they could even bring rain for if they want to be magical with the Thunder Raikou. But
yeah.
Otherwise, I couldn't really give them higher than a B.
Yeah, I couldn't get higher than B. B plus just with, I like Clefable. I think Clefairy would have worked a little bit better with a different A tier, personally, with that Friend Guard. But I don't really know what they'd get rid of, to be honest, actually. So Clefable does kind of work. But yeah, unless it was C tier, which I doubt. But anyway.
No, Clefairy was B.
Yeah, so I guess the team works well. Crobat's nice with the Dual Guard and Hyper Fang, so where everyone else gets their nice Nature's Madness for 50%, they've got Crobat that can still do it with a Mega Lucario.
That's Super Fang, by the way, not
Super
Hyper Fang.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Not really. Hyper Fang is an 80 base power move with 90 accuracy, so...
Yeah. Well, Shiftry is quite nice as a Dark type to stop Prankster moves, and obviously Tailwind. I'm pretty sure it gets Defog.
And yeah, it gets Tailwind and Defog. So
yeah, so that's pretty.
You like anything that uses your own name. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, Tailwind is the best move, and the best name. I love it when I hear in like all the analyst videos and all of the actual like when they battle talking about Tailwind. It's like talk about me. It's so great. But anyway,
your ego just goes up more and more when we just talk, don't we?
Let's move on before it gets too out of hand.
Alright, well, I'll let you talk about Notscald first. I mean, your boy's on here.
Yeah, my boy Comfy.
That lay, that flowery lay, sorry, English is hard for me.
Yeah.
That thing is just there, and I know that's your baby. I'll let you rave on about Comfy.
I wanted to give it a B+, because of all the bulk and everything else. I couldn't because I felt, one, I feel like I'd be a bit too biased with the Comfy and the Cradilly, but I also felt that because of their bulk, they don't have as much pressure, like offensive pressure. They have like Arcanine and I guess Garchomp and Buzzwole, and possibly a boosting Celesteela, but everything else,
Malamar.
Yeah, Malamar, but I feel like it could get exploited with its bug weakness. People moan at Hooper for it. I feel like they may get the same end of the stick. I see it working. That's why, this is also another situation where I'm willing to give a B+, mainly because not mainly just, but with the Comfy support, that thing is, some people will just ignore Comfy and be like, oh, it's not a threat to me. Try taking out something like the Celesteela, but as Comfy's healing it for 50% or even 75% if they put up their own grassy terrain with the Comfy, it's it's becoming increasingly hard to kill all of their bulky mons. They feel like they're about to kill Buzzwole, bam, 50% is back, and that Buzzwole.
And it's priority too,
yeah.
So it's not like
plus 3 as well, so it can actually go through Fake Out. So if someone's got a Fake Out mon or a Quick Guard mon, you can Draining Kiss just before they get to attack if you're faster, which is really nice as well.
Yeah. The thing is, I like their offensive pressure. I like the snarl capabilities. I like
it's all there.
Both their dogs. I like the ability to use other terrains to their advantage because they do have a Alolan Raichu
and Comfy.
I know they wanted the regular Raichu. I know that got sniped from them a little bit. So they wanted a Raichu. So they have the different capabilities that the regular Raichu does, but the added Psychic typing. They have the Surge Surfer.
A few Psychic type moves, and also Speed Swap, which Raichu does not get.
That is true, but Raichu gets Lightning Rod as opposed to Surge Surfer, so
which it much prefers, and it's also more physically attacking. It's 90 to 180 or 90-80, and with stuff like Fake Out and Feint, it does not really doesn't appreciate the attack drop. But I wanted to give a B plus because of the comfy, and the Credilli.
Just because of the comfy.
No, the comfy, the Credilli, the Boswell, the Mega Guard Shot, being able to use sand against people. I just felt I'd get all the stick for it because of comfy. I thought I'd just go B. I root with them to win. I want them to win the whole season because of that comfy. I helped them pick that comfy up. They're winning.
All right. Well, I guess with that we should move on to Team Juice.
Yeah. This is my other A thing. I gave an A plus for this. This is my highest ranking.
I gave a B. This will be interesting. I want to hear this conversation.
Well, you start it, and I'll explain why I up it. Per se.
I gave him a B.
You did.
And this one, I will be honest, this was a hurried ranking for this one. I looked at this team. I looked at it closely, and their speeds are a little slow. Which is why they're a little bit lower for me. They only have one or two things above base 100. I'm pretty sure it's just one, unless Hoopa. I don't think Hoopa's above base 100. Hoopa's like base 80 or something like that.
Meloetta can be.
Hoopa's base 70.
Yeah, Meloetta can be.
This Hoopa's actually base 70. Yeah, but that's on that base 128. Only comes after you get a relic song off, and then you have Tornadus at base 121. But otherwise, they don't really have the fastest team, which is why they have the Aromatisse. But I feel like before that Aromatisse can get things off, they might get exploited with their speed. Friend Guard is a thing with Vivillon, like that's definitely there. But I really think not having the speed is going to be their downfall. On the past, like the Crocodile, like the Volcanion, and they added a Curum Black to this combo. So I mean, they have the offensive power, they have the defensive power, they have the synergy that I feel like they're going to get exploited, and that's why I couldn't give them higher than a B. I feel like the exploitation factor is way too high, and I don't know what you guys think. You guys can leave your own rankings below. We forgot to preface that in the video, in the beginning of this video. But feel free to leave your own rankings in the comment section down below. But yeah, I feel like to beat a dead horse right now, they're gonna be. I feel like they're gonna be too exploitable with their speeds and the weaknesses that they have.
Yeah. Well, I gave an A plus because they have redirection, they have good hazards, they have very powerful Pokemon: Aegislash, Volcanion, Curum Black, Crocodile, Tornadus, Meloetta, and Hoopa. They're all of the first seven Mons are super powerful, all over base 100 in their attacks, in their attack stats. Curum Black 160, Meloetta's like 120.
170 actually.
170. Meloetta's like 125 special attack, and then like 115 physical attack or something like that. It's just
it's 128. Meloetta is 128 in special attack, and then when it changes to pirouette form, it's 128 in physical attack.
So and obviously Aegislash would dual 150. Hoopa I think is 160 and 150. The 110 for attack, and then I think 160 in special attack, or 150. So
it's 110 and 150.
Yeah, so it's got a lot. They've got a lot of offensive presence. I thought that would be the reason. They can they can be quite bulky, and they can just rip into like a lot of the teams. That's my reasoning for the A plus. They've obviously got U-turn. They've got the Rage Powder. They've got, if they really wanted to, they've got Powder. They wanted to powder a fire type against their Aegislash. Make them blow up.
Well, it's Powder works as if a fire type move gets used, so it's not just on fire type mons.
Yes, yeah. So they're worried about hidden power fire on the Aegislash, or that strong Buzzwole firing off a fire punch if he gets that. I don't know. Could come in handy. You never know. Team Juice, take notes. Run Powder. Don't run Powder. I'm joking.
Don't run Powder. And Buzzwole does not get fire punch. So.
But they could use it against the Arcanine. It's C move.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And obviously Friend Guard is...
Powder does stop a fire Z move.
Yep. There you go. So that's my reasoning for the A+. That's my highest team. I think they've got a lot of offensive presence, which is why I gave the A+. I can see the speed and the drops. I just think their offensive will just be a bit too overwhelming for other teams.
All right. I mean, I can't knock any of that, but...
Yeah. Well, next is
I'm
Team
also
Jamie.
not changing mine.
Next is Team Jamie. You've given B+, and I've given B.
Well, both sand teams created equally.
Yep.
However, Team Jamie's is much better.
Yeah, they got the extra drill.
I mean, I gave both sand teams a B+, but this sand team is much better. When using sand, that is. Using everything else, it's good, but not A worthy.
Yeah. I did, when this was being made, I did change mine to B+, which hasn't been updated. This has gone to a B+. This one actually did, but it's not there. This one did make
so
it
this
to B+.
This one is an actual change as opposed to the other ones where they're just speculated changes.
Yeah, it changed like last second. So they were already done by then, so I don't mind. I'm telling you now, it's a B+ now. So
right. Well, it looks like we're in agreement for the third time.
When I put B, I totally forgot about because I was skipping through it quite fast because I was getting at the point where I needed to get send like my rankings away, and with Team Jamie, I looked at it and I completely skipped over Mega Blastoise somehow, and then the Porygon Z, and I was like, oh, how did I miss those two? When I look back over it, and then I changed it to a B+. You know, their team's very strong. You know, the Sand Rush Excadrill. You know, the Victini with its V-Create, Mega Blastoise with Fake Out and Follow Me, Porygon Z, Adaptability Hyper Beam if they wanted to, or just Normalium Z conversion. They've got so many options, and then they have that non-spore, Booty Smeargle in Mr. Mime. So, yeah. Well, that's what they said in their video. It was either that or like, it was like that or it was like Budget Smeargle. Yeah, Budget Smeargle.
Yeah,
that's
Budget
the one.
Smeargle. There
yeah,
we go. I was like,
without spore. Without spore. Without spore.
I do want to say that this Blastoise cannot have Fake Out and Follow Me. I think we might have said it earlier by accident. They cannot have it on the same set.
Yeah, same with Raichu. Raichu can't have Fake Out and Follow Me or Lightning Rod and Follow Me.
So there's that, but I'm interested to see the Yan Megas, whether they're going to use Speed Boost often or if they're going to go with the Tinted Lens Powerhouse set, or even Frisk, because Frisk is a very knowledgeable move in this meta.
Being able to know the Z
what
crystals.
Items,
being able to...
Well, not just Z crystals, just items in general, because of the item class.
You can like eliminate the whole, this is where the Choice Scarf is, we know what outspeeds it now. Stuff like that. You know, we know we can't live a Choice Banded hit from this thing. That knowledge is useful.
And having and if they don't want to bring Sand and they want to bring Mold Breaker, they can still use Earthquake with Rotom Fan.
Yep.
Goes through the Levitate. Oh, I'm still flying.
Unless there's been a Gravity.
Obviously.
But obviously there's also, you know, I like to call it the Adaptability core, because, you know, Dragalge and Porygon Z.
Alright, I can see that. Yeah, I see that.
But I just think they're just going to hit fast. They got average speeds, you know. I always thought that, Mega was like 120, but it's actually not. But, you know.
No, not at all.
It's like 90. It's like 90.
Yeah, I don't know. Base 95 is definitely not base 120.
Nah. I've always thought it was a super fast thing. That was really strong. Has speed boost too. But nah, not quite.
No, it's definitely no Ninjask like base 150, but like
I think Ninjask is 160 now, because Electro's gone to 150. I don't know.
160. It's 160.
Yeah, Electro's 150.
Either way.
But yeah, so
then with B+.
Agreed on B+. Yep, I gave a B- for this one.
I gave him a B. I didn't really go much below a B, but I would give them a B-.
I have a personal vendetta against Necrozma. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, Toby and Necrozma don't really get along. Nah. But besides that aside, they have a lot of mons that do the same thing, and they also have very odd synergies. Like, the team is very good, and I trust the team building capability of Lee and Hibiki, but like picking up Magmar and Electabuzz, I know they didn't know the item clause rule at the time, but the team gets a little bit redundant, and their last few picks
with the whole Obama Snow and Rotom Frost Blizzard spam. It's interesting.
Well, they have Blizzard spam on a lot of their mons
Yeah.
besides
I just think
those two. But
a better grass type could have been picked up, and a better hail user could have been actually no. Then again, there aren't really well. A Alolan Ninetales, has that been taken? No, that hasn't. I haven't gone over that once. So
of all the Snow Warning users, there's Auroras, Vanillux, and Alolan Ninetales outside of Obama Snow.
Yeah, don't say that word, Vanillux. You'll get banned.
Hey, we can say it when we're talking about it from a competitive standpoint. Just
it's bad.
Don't overuse the word.
Yeah, it's a good thing they don't have it. Otherwise, we have to mention it about 2 times.
That is fair. That is fair.
I mean, they've got the Fairy Killer itself, Mega Beedrill, which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Fell Stinger boost, Poison Jab adaptability, U-turn to take out like the Lele team.
Mm-hmm. I'm just afraid of its frailty in doubles. Just because you can take out one thing, but then the other thing can just obliterate you, just like the same with Deoxys we talked about earlier. So
yeah, they've also got Hyper Voice spam.
Its frailty might come in handy, but
yeah. Necrozma, as much as I hate it, it is a good mon in doubles with the dual healing, as long as they're not in their own hail, which is kind of confusing for me. It's like Necrozma's, you know.
Moonlight. I still don't understand why Moonlight doesn't do it in rain or or hail, but that's just because of the Japanese translation.
Yeah. There's also another problem with Necrozma is its lack of move pool. It's not the greatest thing in the world.
But what it does incredibly well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do like Rhyperior. We haven't really mentioned it, and Ambipom. I do like them a bit. I like Rhyperior because I feel like Rhyperior is going to go looked over, just because, you know, you don't really see it often. I see it putting in a lot of work.
Well, I mean, it has Lightning Rod, so
yeah.
it's a
and it also has Solid Rock, so if they run that, that could save their skins a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Against a Z Crystal.
As they are abilities.
Yeah. Well, is that about wrapped up?
I think that's it. So guys, thank you all for coming out, watching the video. Support the MBL, support your favorite team, show some love in the Discord, and yeah, feel free to let us know if we made any mistakes, when we can change things in the future. Obviously this one was a little bit more rushed, a little bit faster than what we're going to do in the future. So be on the lookout and come back every Thursday for Power Rankings with Tailwind and Witz, and see you guys soon.
We'll see you later.